Alright, so welcome back. Today, I'm gonna talk about a topic. How will I name it? I don't know how to name the topic, but as simple as that, I will give a catchphrase or something. What do you call it? Whatever. So this is what I'm gonna talk about. Think before you act. I heard it a lot of times, haven't you? Most of us have heard it. Think before you act. It's very simple to hear it, very simple to me understand it, and very simple to use it as well. But the fact is, most of us don't use it. Most often. And it's like that, it's just like that. I mean, we forget it. All of us forget it. We just act so quick. We don't think much. That's a problem. And the reason why I'm going to talk about this topic is because it is so essential that we need to avoid making mistakes. So, to avoid making mistakes, what's the best thing to do? To think. To think before you do. To think before you act. That's most important. Every one of us needs that. Every one of us. And I mean it. I mean, especially, some of us, most of us, when we are in sort of a frustration, when we are under pressure or some sort of that, especially in those times, in those conditions, we definitely forget to think. We just act so furiously, or we just act, very quickly, very in a short span of time. We don't think about anything else. We don't think about the consequences. We don't think about anything else. We just act so fast that we just want to get it done and just get it off our head, right? And that's a problem. I mean, we can't blame ourselves for that because that is the amount of pressure that is building on us. That's true, but we must make a practice to make sure that doesn't happen. At least try the best to make sure those things don't happen. Not just under pressure. Even if we are not under pressure, also most of the time we do make mistakes without thinking. Especially you consider something like you try to buy a product and you just blindly buy it without seeing the requirements or anything else, and in the end you realize that it was a fake product or something that doesn't meet your requirements, and there's no time to complain about it because there's no use. That's a problem. That's just an example. That's just something of a product. Now there were examples in real, like when you don't do something in need, especially when every what I say during every session, that God sees every actions, and there is nothing you can do to regret about it. After it's done, and there's nothing you can do. It's in the record books. It's updated. You can't change it. I mean, every single thing. I mean, for example, you see a poor man standing below, and he's asking for food, and you just ignore it. Just say no. You just say no straight away without even thinking about it. I mean, don't you're not even thinking about the amount of satisfaction that person will get when he gets it. You're not even thinking about anything else. You're not thinking about what you will get even, or you're not thinking about how God likes it. Nobody does. I mean, most of us don't think about it. I mean, if you do give him the food, and if we do give him the what he needs, great. But if we don't, then that is what happens. We made a mistake, and there's, like what I said, it's updated in the record books, and when in the end, when we go to the place after death, we, we have nothing to make excuses. What's done is done, and it's recorded. So just think. I mean, when somebody asks you something, when somebody asks you for help or anything, just before saying a blind no, think about it. Or before even saying a blind yes, maybe in some circumstances, like, you don't have enough money to afford your family, and you blindly say yes. That doesn't make sense. That's also a problem. So just think for quite some. I mean, you can think. You can use the time. Don't be in a hurry. Don't be a man that is not what God wants. That doesn't mean that God doesn't like. So don't be that kind of a person. All right. Just think for at least some time. Sometime, just think, and don't just make yourself under pressure. Don't do it. Just relax. Just relax and be yourself. Think and ask God. God, what should I do? If especially when you don't know what to make, what decision you should make, ask someone, or especially first of all, what you must do is ask God. God, what must I do? What must I do? Do I need to do this, or do I need to sign the contract, or do I need to whatever, give him this much of amount? Will he cheat me? Will I be in trouble? All those questions ask to yourself. Ask to God first. After that, if you're still, if what God demands is like that you must ask someone else, then do that as well. Don't just make something in a hurry. Don't do that. Just think, put your time and effort, and think every single moment. Think about it, and then act. Because those decisions are the most wisest. And there's nothing else better than that. So and much simpler than that. I know this is a very simple concept, and all of us do understand. What I want to emphasize is that we must just put this into practice every single moment. I mean, even when we are in a lot of hurry, even when we don't have much time to spare, we still must follow this policy of think before you act. That's what I'm saying, and I'm concluding. And thank you very much for listening, and we'll see you another day. Thank you very much.